The average age of the players in the Premier League is 26.5, with most of the biggest stars in the league in their 20s, which made me think, could we create a Premier League starting 11 of players aged 30 and over that could potentially win the league? It's tough, but we're going to try to do that today. But before we get started, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Goalkeeper, Alisson. There's a whole host of quality goalkeepers aged 30 and over, including World Cup winner Emiliano Martinez, Newcastle's Nick Pope, and treble winner Ederson. But Alisson gets the nod in between the sticks for this team. He's probably the best keeper in the world regardless of age, and is a complete one who's not only a brilliant shot stopper, but is also a ball-playing keeper. He's been vital in Klopp's project at Liverpool, and one of the big reasons why Liverpool have won every trophy possible in the last 5 years. If you are trying to win a league title, you need Alisson in your team. Right back, Kieran Trippier. Kyle Walker is someone that could have easily been here instead, but I chose Trippier considering the impact he's had since joining Newcastle. The 33-year-old signed for Newcastle just under 2 years ago at a time where they were one of the favourites to get relegated, and ended up leading them to 11th place. Last season he got 7 assists and played a major part in Newcastle's remarkable run in the top 4 race. You could argue he's been even better this season, and his experience has been invaluable for the Magpies this season, who are playing in the Champions League for the first time in 20 years. Centre-back, Virgil van Dijk. Though he's not quite the undisputed best centre-back in the world anymore, Van Dijk has been very good so far, after a disappointing campaign last season. The Liverpool captain is now 32 years old, but barring a 2-game suspension due to a red card earlier on in the season, he's barely missed any action in the Premier League. With Man City not looking as dominant as last season, Liverpool are in a genuine title race, and Van Dijk could have his hands on his second Premier League title come May. And that would surely put him back in the conversation for the greatest Premier League centre-back of all time. Centre-back, Varane. Lewis Dunk may feel hard done by not being in this team, as he's been consistently one of the best centre-backs in the league since Brighton got promoted in 2017. However, if you want to win major honours, you can't look past 4 times Champions League and 1-time World Cup winner Raphael Varane. Recently he's had a falling out with Ten Hag, and he does seem to regularly pick up injuries, but a fit Varane is still one of the best centre-backs in the world. Last season he formed a solid centre-back partnership with Lisandro Martinez, helping their team keep a league-best 17 clean sheets. There is a realistic chance that Varane leaves Manchester United in January, and the fact that Bayern Munich are one of the teams interested proves just how highly rated he still is in Europe. Left back, Dan Burn. 6'7" Dan Burn cost Newcastle United only £13 million and is easily one of the best left backs in the league. Lucas Digne was also in consideration, with his team Aston Villa flying in the league at the moment, but Dan Burn is probably the most informed left back in the country. Being over 2 meters tall, there's no player in the league that could dominate him physically, and he can also play centre back. It could be strongly argued that Dan Burn is the best English left back in the world and should be getting called up to the Euro squad, considering he's been playing Champions League football whilst the likes of Shaw and Chilwell have been struggling with injuries. Central midfield, Casemiro. He may not be as good as last season, but to be fair, Man United as a whole have not been as good as last season. But Casemiro is still one of the best defensive midfielders in world football, let alone in the Premier League. He's got 5 Champions League titles to his name, which is more than any other player in the league. Not only is he amazing defensively, he's a real threat to the opposition goal, getting 14 goal contributions last season. Just like Varane, there's rumours Casemiro will be leaving Manchester United in January. And if that was to happen, it would be a huge loss for the club, as he's easily their best player. Centre attacking mid, Kevin De Bruyne. Though he's currently injured, De Bruyne is arguably the best player in the Premier League when fit. He is 32 now and probably coming to the end of his top level career, but there's still no attacking midfielder that can come close to what he's achieved at Man City. He has 5 Premier League titles to his name, as well as the Champions League, and is statistically one of the best players to play in the Premier League. Last season, he managed an astounding 10 goals and 31 assists as he helped his side to a historic treble. Central midfield, Pascal Gross. You probably weren't expecting Gross in this team, but the 32-year-old is probably one of the most underrated midfielders in the league. Whilst the likes of Basuma, Caicedo and McAllister have all left Brighton in the last couple years, Gross has stayed, and his age is probably the reason why no big club has come in for him. He signed for the club in 2017 for just £3 million and has featured over 200 times in the league. Last season he got 17 goal involvements in the Premier League, playing all over the midfield and even at right back. And his excellent performances have not gone unnoticed, as he's now a German international with 4 caps to his name, having made his debut back in August. With Kevin De Bruyne and Casemiro the other 2 midfielders, Gross's versatility would be a huge asset to the team. Right wing, Mohamed Salah. I mean, do I need to say any more? Since joining Liverpool in 2017, Salah's lowest goal scoring tally in a single season has been 23, which was in the 19/20 season. Out of the 6 full seasons he's played for the club, he scored over 30 goals in all competitions in 4 of them, making him one of the most potent forwards in world football. And this season he's on course to match that tally again, with his team Liverpool chasing the title. If the Reds are to win the league, they'll be relying heavily on a 31-year-old Salah to deliver them the goals, and given his track record, there's no doubt he will. Striker, Callum Wilson. Most of the best strikers in the Premier League are in their 20s, but Callum Wilson at 31 is a reliable Premier League proven striker. Last season he scored 18 goals in the Premier League, and that's despite only starting 21 games. Isak is Newcastle's main striker, but whenever Wilson starts or comes off the bench, he scores. In the first 10 Premier League games of the season, he only started 5, yet still scored 7 goals. You could argue that Wilson could easily start for the likes of Chelsea, Spurs and Manchester United, and he is also nearing the Premier League 100 club, with 86 goals as of recording. Left wing, Heung-min Son. He's mostly played up front this season, but for the sake of this team, he'll play on the left wing. When Kane left Spurs in the summer, most Premier League fans thought Spurs would massively struggle to score goals, especially when they didn't sign a replacement. But Son has made Kane's absence almost unnoticeable. In the first 14 games of this season, he has 9 goals, which is only 1 less than his tally for the whole of last season. Being 31, naturally Son is going to start losing some of his athleticism, but his intelligence in the box will prolong his career in the Premier League by some years. As of recording, Son has 112 goals in the Premier League. And my question is, how many Premier League goals will he finish his career on? Let us know below. But that was it for creating the best 30 and over Premier League starting 11. But what do you guys think? If this team came to life and started competing in the Premier League, where would they finish? Could they win the league? And are there any other players that should have been in this team instead? Let us know in the comments section below, and as always before you leave, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel.